Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Eric M. Lang and Jared Miller from Team Unlimited, looking at a Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game, Stark vs. Lannister starter set.
Yes.
Mouthful.
Yes. Well, we can do it here. That's like that's a tweet on
right.
The
Yeah.
name of the game here.
We used up all your.
140 characters. The game.
So you have announced this at 2017 GAMA trade show.
Yep.
Very clearly, this is a license worked with Dark Sword Miniatures.
Yep. So we're working with Dark Sword. It's licensed off the George R.R. Martin novels.
That's right, off the entire novel series.
Yes.
It's a literary license rather than a TV license.
Right.
Yep.
Well, it's right for the series as a whole.
Yes.
And it's kind of the thing is like a Game of Thrones is now sort of the name of the series, but it's not really the name of the series. That's
right.
The name
This
of the
is
book, and
this is everything.
This is everything that the people love. It's like it's all of it.
The scope
Although
is pretty ridiculous.
it
It's
is.
still
Yes.
like Martin's brain, I guess, as well, because
Yeah.
it's not done yet. So
Nope.
we need to
Martin's brain does not come into the box.
extract
Disclaimer.
that
Correct.
to hopefully get the rest of it.
Yeah.
So this is a starter set that is going on Kickstarter Q3
Yep.
2017 for release in 2018.
Yes.
What's the general idea or behind this game setup? Are we just is it a 1v1 play or
It is a 1v1 game.
Everything?
It's a 1v1 game. This is an in-house design, designed by Michael Chanel, who did Rum and Bones series.
Okay.
It is it's a rank and file miniature game.
Mm-hmm.
So what you don't see here is that there's a cool little tray of 4x3 slots, and so the goal of the game, which by the way I played when I went down because it's really good.
It is,
I mean,
it is.
I know I'm supposed to say
Again,
it,
we're
but,
supposed to say that, but
but I'm really hard to please when it comes to miniature games, and I really liked it. I think Michael did a freaking good job. The cool thing that we did here is that we've got this really big miniature game, epic scale, lots of minis in it, but it's really easy to drive. So you activate one tray at a time with up to 12 minis on it, and a hero that you plug in that will actually add and subtract powers passively and actively from the unit. And you're just going to move your units one at a time. We move a unit, you move a unit, and battle.
Activation.
That's the core system of the game.
Okay.
It's not. It's very simple, very intuitive to understand. But there's a couple little innovative tricks they threw in there. So there are tactics, for example. There's a pool of tactics that you can get that you can activate that. Throughout any number of your units may have tactical abilities that you use a tactic token to put on that you get to use for the round, and that's part of the army construction. How many tactics you get are provided by the heroes. Otherwise, a point-based system. And again, just to highlight, like if I have a unit of 12 here of Lannisters, if I put in like the Mountain, Gregor Clegane, or Sandor Clegane, they'll have a completely different feel.
Okay.
So it's very replayable,
Okay.
and insanely customizable, and that's a
Right.
direwolf.
yes, and you'll actually kind of notice here with the different bases. So Eric mentioned the trays. So like an infantry tray will have 12 figures in it.
Right.
That
You're
do
not gonna
remove.
12 in either.
So they're not like stuck in that tray.
Right.
They actually do come out.
Right.
And
as you
actually,
mentioned with
it
the-
affects gameplay too. So when you lose
Right.
units out of it, actually affect the missing ranks actually will affect their stats.
Yeah, so each tray would have like 3 ranks for an infantry that will affect stats as they go down. But then so he wouldn't technically be part of cavalry, but for this example, a cavalry tray would have spots for 4 because they're bigger bases.
And they
But,
follow slightly different rules, and
yeah.
they have auto charge and all that. The thing is with miniature games, one of the key aspects of miniature games is that they're a very visual medium, right? So the units they have to do what it looks like they do.
Right.
And Michael did a really good job of capturing that. Like the characters have abilities, like, so I got to talk about the Mountain, like. So the Mountain, when he comes in, he makes it harder for your own units to lose morale when they and get routed when they lose morale, because they're more afraid of him than they are the enemy.
Okay.
Look at
So,
him.
like,
Wow.
how you expect those characters, how you've experienced them from the novels, that's how they're going to be represented in the game. So,
Right.
you know, they're going to do what you think, like you were
Right.
saying. So,
And one further element is that they're also intrigue. There's an intrigue element, so that there are some characters that are represented in the game. They're on intrigue cards, like Cersei Lannister off to the side. They're not directly involved in the combat, but they
Right.
do affect the combat. Because
Yeah.
it wouldn't be like the Song of Ice and Fire series if it didn't have
Didn't have that
intrigue,
politics and
politics
intrigue,
behind it.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Skullduggery. That's it.
there you go.
That's what is coming down. Are you actually recreating scenes from the novels, or
So
How
there
is that?
there are going to be scenarios
Okay.
that are available that do recreate those famous battles from those novels that in different confrontations. But we also want people to know it is, as we're kind of calling it, is almost a fanfic generator.
What if?
Yeah,
Right?
like
What if
what if,
scenarios?
like, and then you can take those what if situations and actually play them through. So we're giving it both. So you're not beholden to doing exactly what the scenarios are. You can create your own too.
Okay.
Because
But
frankly,
they
I
are
mean,
there, so you
who
can
doesn't want to
relive
do that?
Right.
those battles because obviously you want to experience the things you read in the book. So we do.
And there are
options.
scenarios with other objectives too, right?
Yes.
Like rescue Jaime Lannister, who will like start off as a prisoner in the other sides of things. So there are there are a lot of cool tactical, the flavorful different variations
Yes.
that you want to play. So there's a ridiculous amount of playability in that starter box. There's like
And then
how
there's
many
So
miniatures?
there's 90 miniatures in that starter box for 2 players.
Okay. And then there's many other releases.
So that's one of the
Like that.
key things that going into this game we knew. So that we're structuring the Kickstarter a little bit differently because the Kickstarter is for this first starter and some additional units, but after that we have a detailed yearly plan for monthly releases that are going to retail that weren't part of the Kickstarter. That's going
Right.
to keep players going, being able to add in their armies. We've already said that we have another starter that will be going directly to retail, and we want to make sure the community is constantly engaged, constantly involved, constantly getting that new material, growing their armies, and that it has that long tail. Because to us, this is not something that is just out there and then done.
Right.
Yeah,
We're
it's-
committed to the player base that forms around it. We'll have organized play kits.
Importantly, from day one.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
we know what
when
minute-
this
the
when this
miniature
actually
market,
comes
right?
out on retail, it will have an organized play kit
Right.
with it, and then there'll be another one after that, and because we want to keep that community happy, keep them growing, and just support the retails, get people in stores actually playing it. So that's kind of the approach to this, which is a little bit different than some of our other, most of our other Kickstarters are.
Right.
So, and one thing I do want to point out, I don't know if we mentioned it, so unlike some, miniature games, these are actually going to be pre-assembled.
Yeah, that's true. That's very
So
important.
Okay.
they're not, and not even one piece. So if they have multiple pieces, we put it together. So players our dedicated miniature players who really like getting in there and kind of putting their miniatures together, they're still going to have the ability to go in there and paint them and really customize them because the detail, we've really strived to make the detail something.
Yeah, there is no shortage of detail.
Yes?
Down below on 2.
Down below on 2.
So
I
we've
know.
really strived to have
Need to
that
zoom in
level
more.
of detail for them, but also for the people who are maybe just getting into this world of miniatures. When it comes out of the box, these are approximations of actually what the colors will be. So this, so they don't even have to paint if they don't want, these new players, and they can just start playing out of the box. And even the units we release later, if I'm playing Eric and he just wipes the table with me with a specific unit, I could go to the shelf, buy that unit, take it out of the box, and immediately be playing.
Right.
So, we want it to be easy to approach, strategic, and kind of pleasing to both sides in a way that we think
I can't emphasize enough that it is really easy to play. Like, it's really easy to just jump in.
It is.
So one of my litmus tests in with the development department in Brazil, there's a couple guys there that don't play miniature games, right? Here you go, boom, play the game, and they were playing within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, just a little tiny reference card, and they were right into it.
Okay. All right.
So-
Well, there you go. Overview. What's coming.
Yes.
Song of Ice and Fire, etc. That's it.